Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a Q&A. I have wanted to do like a Q&A video on my channel for a while and it just hasn't happened. So the other day I posted on my Instagram stories and my YouTube community page and just asked you guys like for questions. I said I was going to do a Q&A video this week, and I told you guys just to ask me basically whatever, anything to do with YouTube, advice, makeup, personal, whatever. So you guys asked me some questions and I'm going to try to answer all of them in this video. Some of them are like repetitive or the same. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, subscribe down below if you have not already. I would so appreciate that. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. You're also welcome to come follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to. They are linked in my description box. And we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into these questions. So I'll start with like a YouTube question. And this one says, is doing YouTube like what you thought it would be? And then there's another one that says, was there anything unexpected about starting your channel? I'm also going to be answering some of the questions that I got a while back when I posted that I might be doing a Q&A, and I never did one, so they didn't end up getting answered, so I'm still going to answer those. And honestly, I feel like yes and no to some extent with YouTube. Like, you're never going to know exactly what to expect when you start, and you're just not going to be able to predict what's going to happen, literally, like whether you put in everything that you have or you just kind of put a few videos out here and then. Like, obviously you're going to get back what you put in to an extent, but it's so hard because YouTube's analytics are crazy and a lot of that plays into your channel. Obviously you can control like your quality and the heart that you put into it, but I definitely feel like I came into this kind of blindly. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew that I've been wanting to do YouTube since I was like 14 or 15, and I've been watching like Jaclyn Hill and Kathleen Lights and people like that, and I've known that I wanted to do it for a really long time, and I just finally started doing it. I started posting videos in like February of 2018, so it's been almost 2 years, which is crazy to think about. Like, that's a big chunk of time, 2 years. But anyways, I don't feel like there's any set answer that I can give to like if YouTube was what I thought it would be or if there was anything unexpected. I feel like there's unexpected things constantly along the way. I remember when my first videos started getting like a lot of views or like blowing up, I guess you could say. Today that video has like 20,000 views. But back then, when I saw the views speeding up, it was just the craziest feeling because I never felt like that would happen to me. And I remember like when my first YouTube video hit 1,000 views, it was so amazing. Like, it felt 1,000 views then felt like what 100,000 views feels to me now. I remember when that just felt crazy. So that was definitely unexpected. And I think that unexpected things happen all the time. So yeah, I guess that's my answer to that question. I know that was really long. A lot of people asked if we are planning to have kids or when we are planning to have kids. And I would definitely say that yes, we are planning to have kids one day, but it's probably going to be a couple of years. It's just something that's like a really big step in your life, and that's something that you don't go back from. So like I feel like you have to be really ready and at that place, and right now we're just not quite there yet. But if I was to get pregnant unexpectedly, I would be totally okay with that and I would adjust to that. But it's not something that we're planning right now, and it's probably going to be a couple of years. If it were up to Joas, we would probably have like 7 or 8 kids. Like, he loves the idea of having a kid and he wants a lot of kids. We'll definitely have a few. I just don't know how many yet. And yeah, we're excited to be parents. Like, that's something that we want one day. A few people also asked how we met, how me and Joas met. If you're new, Joas is my husband. We met actually years ago when we were both 16. I think we were both 16 or almost 17. And I actually lived almost 2 hours north of here where we live now, which is where a lot of my family lives as well. But my parents live like almost 2 hours north of here, and I was living with them. I was like 16, obviously. And at the time, my brother-in-law and my sister were like leading a youth group down in this area. They were like youth leaders. And so I would come down and visit, and I started like coming to the youth group sometimes. I would stay with them like on the weekends or whatever. And that's how we met. Like he was going to that youth group and we would see each other, but we didn't actually start dating until a while after I stopped. So like a couple of years later, after I wasn't really coming around to the youth group anymore, but I still had family in this area, so I would sometimes come and visit. We saw each other again and we started talking, and then we started dating, and then we got married, and it all kind of happened relatively quick, I guess. But that's how we met. And yeah, it was mostly like because my brother-in-law and him were like pretty good friends, so he wasn't just like a random guy in the youth group, you know, like I would see him a decent amount. This video is gonna get so long, I already know it. I'm trying not to take forever on every question. Okay, the next question I'm gonna answer is, what are your favorite easy makeup products? This could be its own video, to be honest. Yeah, it definitely could, but I'm guessing that means like specific makeup products, not just like the type of makeup product. Someone else also said, I know this is probably a tough one, but what is your all-time favorite makeup product? So I'll kind of answer them together. My favorite easy makeup products, I love cream products these days. So I love like cream highlights, cream bronzers. I love my Milk Makeup bronzer. I love my Flesh Beauty cream highlight. That one's really good too. I just love like cream products for easy, quick on the go. I also love like the Essence Make Me Brow for a brow gel that's like pretty pigmented, so you can kind of just do your brows in one step. It's really hard, but if you guys want me to do a video like that, like my favorite go-to easy makeup products, let me know. I also just love like lip glosses and lip oils. Like you guys know how much I love the Fenty Gloss Bomb. Clarins has some lip oils that are really great, and e.l.f. also has lip oils that I like. So just like more natural, sheer, glossy, glowy products are like my go-to. And to answer the what's my all-time favorite makeup product one, that one is rough. I'm guessing you mean like my favorite type of makeup product, not just like, you know, a specific makeup product. I would probably have to say concealer or eyebrows. I have eyelash extensions that are really janky right now, so ignore them. I would normally wear mascara too. So like that would be like my go-tos would be like mascara, eyebrows, and concealer. But if I had to pick, maybe eyebrows. But maybe concealer too, because I have really bad dark circles. It's just hard to say because like I have a couple go-tos. And I feel like I can't pick just an all-time favorite makeup product in general, like one makeup product that's specific that I love, you know? It's just so hard. Let's see, someone asked if I go to school for anything, and if I have anything I want to do with my degree. I do not go to school for anything. I have not been to college, and it's a long story. My education or like the way that I grew up is a long story, but no, I do not go to college. I'm just currently doing YouTube right now. This is what I'm working towards. This is what I want to be my job, I guess. And I know a lot of people are kind of iffy about that, but that's what I am working on right now. Do you have any siblings? This person asked a few questions. I have 12 siblings, actually. I think I've mentioned that in a get to know me video that I did a while ago. I'll link that up in the card if you guys want to watch it. Like, it's a little bit of an older video, but it is like a get to know me, so there's a lot more like personal stuff about me in that video. I do have 12 siblings, and I have 6 brothers and 6 sisters. What is your favorite kind of music / artist? That's very hard. I grew up on country music. Honestly, I know everybody hates country, but I still like country music depending on what it is. Like, I don't like everything. I don't like super like redneck stuff, but I like country in general. I like newer artists like Dan and Shay. I like older artists too, but it just depends. I really love the more chill, bluesy kind of genres. Like, I love John Mayer. I know every John Mayer song ever written or sang probably. I have all of his music on my phone, and I've listened to John Mayer for years. I know all of his songs. I love it. I also love other artists similar. Like, I like Ed Sheeran. I know that's like more pop. I like, excuse me, I like Mark Sibilia. I think that's how you say it. If you haven't heard of him, he does like really cool like rock blues type music, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what you would describe it as, but I love Mark Sibilia. I think that's how you say it. It's spelled like Scibilia. I don't know. That's my best shot. A few people asked if we have any pets, and we don't have any pets right now. The place that we are renting doesn't allow animals, and next year we might not be in this place anymore at some point, so it would definitely be an option then. But we've talked about it some, and we've thought about it, but I just don't know when or if that will happen in the future. I'm sure we'll have animals someday, like horse or something. My husband wants to have cows, but right now we don't have any like pets, like dogs or cats. I'm not really a big cat person, to be honest, and having an animal in the house is a whole like thing. I know that it's something that it's something that I would have to learn, because I never grew up with animals in the house, and it would basically be like taking care of a child, like having a baby. Like I would have to be really ready for that. I'm a very like clean person, in the sense that like I have clutter, but I'm clean as far as like I'm paranoid about just stuff just being like germ free and clean. So if I know that if I had an animal, I would just have to clean up after it constantly, and I'm just not at that place right now where I would be ready for that, but maybe one day. What are some big differences in you and your hubby, and how do you guys navigate them? I feel like that's kind of a hard question to answer, and I would say that me and Joas are pretty similar in a lot of ways, like with our personality. We're both kind of like quiet and reserved in like newer settings, but then once we get comfortable, we're both pretty like outgoing and kind of crazy, and like we have like more extroverted personalities, but it really just depends on the setting we're in. I feel like we're similar in that way, but then there's obviously differences between us, and I feel like most of our differences, as with probably a lot of people, are like in the way that we grew up. Our families are different. We had a different family dynamic. There are definitely similarities in our background and our childhood, but there are also a lot of differences. And his family still has a good amount of siblings, but just not as many as I grew up with, and he's one of the oldest. I am the youngest out of all of my siblings, and the way I grew up is just so different from the way that he grew up, and even just like the family dynamics and everything is so different. And I think that you have to be very aware of that in a relationship, and it takes two people to be very aware. I think you both have to be very aware, and when there's a situation where it's like, this doesn't make sense to me, you're not making sense, we don't agree, this, like the way you're thinking about this is completely different than how I'm thinking, you just have to take a step back and be like, okay, just because this is the way that I grew up, or this is the way that I think, doesn't mean that that's the right way necessarily, and it doesn't mean that other people are going to feel the same way or that they're going to think the same way. You just have to be tolerant of other people's feelings and opinions, and it's hard in a relationship, like when you're really comfortable with each other, to always take a step back and like really think about the other person and really think about how they're feeling and not just get caught up in the moment. And I'm talking about this subject for so long, but I feel like it kind of requires a long answer, because there's not just one specific thing or situation I can think of. Oh, we're different in this specific way, and this is what it takes to navigate that. I think, like I said, I think a lot of our differences are in the way that we grew up. I think the really cool thing is when it comes to the way that we want to raise our kids, it's a lot the same. And I think we agree on things for the most part about how we want to raise our kids. So it's not like we're coming into a relationship with completely different thought processes on how we want our family to be. Like, we feel the same in that sense. So I think that's the most important thing, is that when we start our family, we know that we agree on what we want it to be like and how we want to raise our kids. And yeah, I think that's ultimately the most important thing, is that for the big things in life, you can come together and agree or find a compromise or like a medium place that you guys can agree on. Because I think if you have completely different like ideas of what you want out of life, it's gonna be difficult. We agree on the important stuff, I think, and that's what matters, but there's always going to be things that we are different and have different views in, and that's okay. I think it's like that for anybody, but I'm going to shut up about that subject now. We're going to move on to the next question. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? My number one for many years, most of my life, has been Santorini, Greece, and we went there for our honeymoon. We were there for like 9-10 days, and it was amazing, but I was sick half of the time, or most of the time. I got like strep throat, and it was not fun. So that was really unfortunate. I think my immune system had to get used to a different country and like the water and everything. I don't know, but I think hopefully next time I go out of the country that doesn't happen. But it's really hard to pick just one place since I've been there now, and I would love to go back there. But I really want to go to France and Italy. Those are like two, places that I really want to go. I also want to go to Spain, like Barcelona. I would love to go to Barcelona. But if I had to pick like one place where I would go on my next trip out of the country, like where would I go if I could just leave the country right now and I had to pick one place, it would probably be like Switzerland or Ireland maybe. I really love like the idea of hills and mountains, and I just think that would be probably what I would choose if I were to go somewhere next. It would be like Ireland or Switzerland. I know those are different places, but I don't think my next choice would be to go to like Paris or somewhere in Italy like Rome. I want to go there one day, but it wouldn't be like my first choice. I'd really like to go to Ireland or Switzerland. Okay, this video is already getting so long and I'm taking forever to answer these questions. I'm just going to answer one more. This is a makeup related question. It says, if you had a collab with a brand, what kind of product would you come out with? Like an eyeshadow palette, bronzer, etc. Even just like the thought of having a collab with a brand just seems crazy to me. Like I can't even wrap my mind around that. Like I feel like it'd be like a lot of pressure and it would just be so surreal. But if that were to ever happen one day, if any cosmetic companies would be interested in working with me, which I mean, I know I've done a lot of other stuff besides makeup these days, but I feel like it would probably be some type of face product like bronzer or highlighter, maybe even blush, probably bronzer or highlighter. I love bronzer and highlighter both, and they're both products that I feel like I would trust myself with, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I know the most about how they should perform and what I want them to look like, and I would be more confident in coming out with a bronzer or highlighter first. But I don't see myself being ready for that right now, and the thought is just crazy to me. I think those are all the questions. Hopefully I answered them all. I don't think I missed any. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. That would really, really mean a lot to me, because I know if these are the types of videos that you guys like. And subscribe if you have not already. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that I've been such a mess with Vlogmas, but I hope you have enjoyed the videos that I have put out. I really appreciate your support. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.